This morning I am working on the wires and I discovered that the original truck that I'm replacing the cab on didn't have washer squirters. The old truck from the junkyard did have a washer squirter, and it has this cool dash switch that has a button in the middle to pump the water. So I looked for wire diagrams for 66 Chevy, and I found some that were close, though the colors weren't right. But near as I could tell, so this is the factory plugs. These are the factory plugs on here. And this is the factory plug, and this is the factory plug. So as far as I can tell, the dark blue and the black come up here, as they should, to the terminal on the wiper, and the dark blue goes to the washer squirter. Then there's a light blue that's separate, comes over here to the wiper motor. This yellow I pulled out of the fuse block, so this is my power in. And I have a yellow here, yellow power here, yellow power here. The odd thing is these two powers show that they are hooked together, but here in my factory wire harness, they're not hooked together. So I don't know where this yellow originally was hooked to. However, in everything I've seen, this yellow gets power from this yellow. So I'm going to hook this up. I got a bad wire here, so I'm going to pull this off. I'm going to replace the connector in here, put these two wires in it, and then hook this to 12 volts, ground the case, and then this switch should work and turn the windshield wipers on and off, and then this should work the pump. That is assuming that this 20-year-old junkyard motor and the 20-year-old pump actually are functioning, which if it doesn't, I'll test for voltage. So I'm going to check it out. Alright, so I have these fancy tools here that you slide this in. It's supposed to work. Go. So you slide that little tool in there, and then you can pull out your wire. You cut this wire off. Strip that. Now, unfortunately, this yellow wire right here doesn't have enough wire on it to tie up to this, so I'm going to put this in here. And I don't have the proper tool. I'm going to try this one. So I did crimp the wire to hold it into the connector. So I put a good crimp on it. That'll probably work, but I think I'm just gonna hit it with a little solder. Okay, I'm going to put a little flux. In there. So I put the soldering iron on one side of the wire and the crimp, and then put the flux on the other side. And it drew it through, so now I know, tin tip here. Now I know that this is soldered on. All right, now I'm going to cut this. Now soldering these old wires, it's a little tricky. So I don't know if I'm actually going to solder those. I like to use these barrel connectors that don't have any plastic. You can buy them extruded, but these are the cheap ones and they do have a seam. So I always like to make sure the seam is in the round part of the barrel, not in the squish part. I did tin the wires in case I want to solder them. Okay, so I got both wires in there. My seam is up. Alrighty. This side. These cheap barrel connectors. Okay, this. All right, I had to solder it because these cheap barrel connectors wouldn't hold wire, but now we're good. Find some heat shrink. Will work. All Well, I seem to have lost my cup tip for this. All right, a lot of work to go through just to see if it's going to work. Well, if it works, it's worth it. Now I can plug this back in here. Yeah, brand new connector. This only goes on one way. Or not ground when I got it. My alligator clips won't fit on. So that's negative. See what happens. Nothing. Uh-oh. Really? Crap. This is not good because I had to modify these batteries. I must have left it on. To make the batteries work, see, I had to solder wires to them because the old the batteries were in here for a long time and they corroded my whole all the contacts. Just totally gone. Oh crap, alright, I can't figure that out right now. Well, I can go no farther without a multimeter. I don't know if it's a bad switch, bad motor, bad switch, bad motor, bad pump. So, until I get a multimeter, this project's done. Welcome back. Today I got a new voltmeter. This is just the next frame in the video, but started looking into this, playing with the settings here, and I discovered that the switch body makes the ground for the circuit. So 20 years sitting in the junkyard. And slow. fast, and you can hear a click. The only thing it doesn't have is a park for the wiper blades, but I don't know if it did originally. But so this thing didn't go to the junkyard for a bad wiper motor. But the 2-speed wiper motor and the switch for the wiper juice works just fine. So I'm going to put these in, and we're going to call this one good. Well, that about does it for the wiper motor. It works fine. So we're going to go ahead and install it and move on with the next project. So that'll end this video. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Leave any comments or suggestions. I answer everybody. So I appreciate you guys, and have a great day.